Hello and welcome students. In the last video lecture, I had explained you question number 15 of final accounts of partnership firm. Now in this video lecture, I am going to explain you question number 17 of your textbook, that is on page number 86. Let us read the question. Man and Mohan are partners of a firm sharing profit and loss in the proportion of 1:1. It means that profit and loss sharing ratio of Man and Mohan, that is 1:1. From the given below trial balance and adjustments, prepare final accounts for the year ending on 31st March 2017. So we have to prepare from the trial balance and the adjustments the final accounts of partnership firm of Man and Mohan. As you can see on the board, I have prepared trading account, P&L account, partners current account and balance sheet as on 31st March 2017. Here any of the transaction related to partners, that is interest on capital, interest on drawing, salary, bonus, such type of transactions are not there in the question. That's why P&L appropriation account has not been prepared. Okay. Now we'll see one by one entries and do the posting in the related accounts. First one, that is capital and drawings. Capital of Man and Mohan, that is 2,80,000 and 2,20,000. Now students, current account is given over here. So all the entries related to partners will be recorded in the current account. So the capital would remain as it is in the balance sheet also. So you can see partners capital that I have written as it is of Man and Mohan, that is 2,80,000 and 2,20,000. Total I have placed in outer column, that is 5 lakh. And now drawings that is given to you 3,000 and 4,500. As the opening balance of capital or opening balance of current account, credit balance of current account we are writing on credit side, then drawings would always come on the debit side of partners current account. Okay, so two drawings, that is one, that is 3,000, for Mohan, that is 4,500. Then afterwards purchase and sales, that is given to 80,000 and to 1,20,000. So that will be on trading account debit side. To purchase, I have left one space for the first entry, that is always of opening stock. So second place I have written, that is to purchase in inner column, that is 80,000 because there is purchase written and sales written. And same way credit side of trading account I have written buy sales, that is 1,20,000 in inner column. And then afterwards advertisement expense, that is given to you 7,000. Advertisement expense, that is one kind of expense. So debit side of P&L account, that is 2, advertisement expense, that is 7,000. Then afterwards carriage outward, that is 850. Already while discussing the specimens I have discussed that carriage inward will be recorded on the debit side of trading account and carriage outward will always be recorded on debit side of P&L account. Okay, so carriage outward, that is given to you 850. So debit side of P&L account, that is 2, carriage outward 850. Then afterwards machinery value, that is given to you 1,50,000. Asset side of balance sheet, machinery in inner column because adjustment is there. So inner column 1,50,000. Then afterwards purchase of office machinery, that is 1st April 2016, that is 40,000. It means during the beginning of this accounting year, additional machinery was purchased worth rupees 40,000. So I have done purchase plus purchase over here, that is rupees 40,000. Okay, so total that came to 1,90,000. Then afterwards building, that is given to you 2,50,000. So building also on the asset side of balance sheet 2,50,000 in an inner column. Then afterwards office salary, that is given to you 15,000. Office salary, that will be debit side of P&L account. To office salary in outer column because there is no any adjustment, so outer column 15,000. Then afterwards customers and suppliers. Customers means debtors and suppliers means creditors. Okay, so customers, that is given to you 25,000. So on the asset side of balance sheet you can write customers also over here, you can write debtors also over here, but we are familiar with the terminology, that is debtors. So I have written debtors over here. Debtors, that is 25,000 in inner column because adjustment of BDR is there, so I have written in inner column. In the same way on the liability side of balance sheet I have written creditors directly in outer column, that is 35,000. Always debtors will be having a debit balance and creditors will be having a credit balance. Then afterwards goods return, that is given to you 16,000 and 14,000. Now goods return, purchase return will always be having a credit balance. So purchase return, that will be 14,000 and sales return, that would be 16,000. Okay, so 80,000 minus 14,000 in outer column it would come to 66,000. Over over here sales return, that is 16,000, still in inner column because one more adjustment is there on it. That's why I have not subtracted over here and put the amount in the outer column. Then afterwards, weight charges, that is given to you 450. Weight charges that will be recorded on the debit side of trading account because that transaction is related to goods. So it will be recorded on the debit side of trading account. So to weight charges, that is given to you 450. Then afterwards, loan of month, that is given 10,000. So that is one kind of liability. In future you have to pay that loan to that partner. So it will be recorded on the liability side of balance sheet. So you can see loan of month that I have written, that is rupees 10,000 inner column I have written. You can write directly in outer column also, but in order to add the outstanding interest on that loan, I have written it in inner column. Okay. Then afterwards, carriage inward, that is given to you 1300. Already discussed, carriage inward will be recorded on the debit side of trading account. So you can see on the debit side of trading account, one entry is remaining over here, that is 2 carriage inward. Okay, that is value given to you 1300. Okay, I have written by mistake custom duty. It's carriage inward. Okay, carriage inward, that is given to you 1300. Then afterwards, goods stock, opening stock, that is given to you 42,000. Opening stock always will be recorded on the debit side of trading account. Always the first entry, so to opening stock, that is debit side of trading account 42,000. Then afterwards, trading expense, that is given to you 1300. Trading expense that will be recorded on the debit side of P&L account. So you can see on the debit side of P&L account, I have written 2 trading expense, that is 1300. Then afterwards, wages and outstanding wages. Wages will always be having a debit balance and outstanding wages will always be having a credit balance. Okay, so wages will be recorded on the debit side of trading account. So you can see on the debit side of trading account, I have written 2 wages, that is 750, and outstanding wages that I have written on the liability side of balance sheet, that is 2,600. Okay. Then afterwards, wages and outstanding. Then afterwards, commission paid in advance. It means prepaid commission. Prepaid commission, the balance is given to you, that is debit balance. So always, whenever this type of adjustment is given in trial balance, there will be only one effect of it. Okay, so it will be recorded on the asset side of balance sheet. So you can see on the asset side of balance sheet that I have written, that is commission, prepaid commission, that is rupees 350. Okay. Then afterwards, bank account and cash account. Bank account and cash account. So cash balance, that will be always debit balance, and whatever the credit balance that is given to you, that would be bank overdraft. Okay. So cash balance, you can see I have written, that is on the asset side of balance sheet 20,700, and over here on the liability side of balance sheet, that I have written bank overdraft in inner column, that is rupees 3,000, because there is an adjustment. Okay. Then afterwards, interest on loan, that is given to you 400. Interest on loan, that will be on the debit side of P&L account, that is 400 has been paid. Now what is the amount of loan? That is 10,000. On 10,000, what would be the interest? That would be interest rate, that would be 6%. Okay, so 10,000, 6% interest rate, that would come to 600. Out of 600, 400 rupees has been paid. So outstanding interest on loan, that would be only rupees 200. So this is a hidden adjustment. Plus outstanding interest I have written over here 200. Total in outer column, that would come to 600. That outstanding interest that I have added in the amount of loan. So you can see 10,000 plus 200. Total in the outer column of liability side, that I have written 10,200. It means still rupees 10,200 we have to pay to the partner, that is month. Okay, including interest. Then afterwards, investment in 8% government security, that is 30,000. Investment is one kind of assets for the firm. So investment that I've written over here, investment in government security, that is rupees 30,000. Okay. Now investment rate of interest is given to you, that is 8%. So whenever the rate of interest is given to you, you have to count the amount of interest on it. Now investment we have made, so because of that investment we'll receive the interest, so it would be an income for the firm. So 30,000, 8% interest, that would come to 2,400 for the entire year. Okay, so there is no any effect of it in the trial balance, so entire interest is outstanding. So there will be two effect of this hidden adjustment. One would be on the credit side of P&L account, that is by outstanding interest on government security, that is 2,400. And the second effect, one effect that we have given credit effect, so the second effect that would be debit effect, that would be on the asset side of balance sheet. So here you can see I've written outstanding interest on government security, that is 2,400. Okay. Next one, that is current account of Man and Mohan. Current account of Man balance is given to you debit balance, and for Mohan it is given to you credit balance. So credit balance that I have recorded on the credit side of partners current account, by balance brought down of Mohan, that is 12,000, and debit balance of Man, that is to balance brought down, that is 8,000. Okay, so don't forget, whatever the credit balance you write on the credit side only, and whatever the debit balance you write on the debit side. Now we have completed, given the effect of all the effects of the trial balance. Now looking at the adjustments, first one, that is the value of closing stock is 80,000, its market value is 10% more. Already we have discussed that closing stock market value, cost price or market value, whichever is least or whichever is less, that we are considering. So over here we'll consider the low value, that is the value of closing stock at rupees 80,000. We'll not consider the market value. So closing stock, it is given in adjustment, so two effect would come. One would be on the credit side of trading account, that is by closing stock 80,000, and the second effect that would be on the asset side of balance sheet, that is closing stock 80,000. Okay. Second adjustment, provide depreciation at 10% on machine and building. Okay. Now in case of machinery, 1,50,000 plus 40,000 that was purchased, so total that came to 1,90,000. Now on 1,90,000 we'll calculate the depreciation at 10%, because this purchase which we made, that was also on 1st April 2016. So for entire year we have to calculate the depreciation on rupees 40,000 also. If suppose the date is given to you of 30th June or so on, any other date is given to you, so accordingly for that many months only you have to count the depreciation for the purchase made between during the year. Okay, here this purchase has been in the starting of the year itself. Okay, so we'll calculate the depreciation on the entire amount, that is 1,90,000 at 10%, that would come to 19,000. So subtracting it from 1,90,000, it would come to 1,71,000. In the same way we have to count the depreciation for building. In case of building, the value that is given to you 2,50,000. On 2,50,000, 10% depreciation, it would come to 25,000. Subtracting it, outer column, it would come to 2,25,000. Now the second effect of this depreciation, that would be on the debit side of P&L account. You can see on the debit side of P&L account, I've written two depreciation, machine and building. Machine that came 19,000, and for building that came 25,000. Total I've written an outer column, that is 44,000. Then afterwards, third adjustment, debtors of 10,000 became insolvent. 50% amount will be received as per instruction of his receiver. Okay. Now out of the total debtors, 10,000 worth of debtors have become insolvent. It means that is considered as bad debts. But out of that, the receiver has got the instruction that in future he will get 50% amount of it. It means actual bad debts would be only of rupees 5,000. Okay. So here you can see I have written bad debts, but because of before the bad debts we have to give the effect of sales return. That is the next adjustment, that you can see fifth adjustment. Goods of rupees 2,000 is missed out to be recorded in sales return book. It means unrecorded sales return which has not been recorded in the books of accounts. So before providing the effect of bad debts and bad debt reserve, we have to provide the effect of sales return, that is unrecorded. Okay. So first of all I have subtracted unrecorded sales return, that is given to you 2,000. The remaining balance, that would be 23,000. And the second effect of this unrecorded sales return, that would be subtracting from the sales on the credit side of trading account. Okay. You can see I've written unrecorded sales return, that is 2000. Now from 1,20,000 I'll subtract 16 plus 2 means 18,000. So 1,20,000 minus 18,000, it would come to 1,02,000. Okay, that's why I've not written directly the value in the outer column, because this unrecorded sales return last adjustment was remaining. Okay, now after subtracting the value of sales return, remaining balance of debtors, that came to 23,000. From 23,000, bad debts, that is 50% of 10,000, it means 5,000. Okay, so 23,000 minus 5,000, that came to 18,000. Now one more adjustment in that, it is given, that is provide 5% BDR. 5% BDR that we have to calculate. Over here you can see 5% of BDR, that I have written 650. Why I have written 650? I have calculated the BDR on 13,000, because actually the bad debts or the insolvency is of 10,000. Actually the bad debts is 10,000. It is to be received, but still that amount of 5,000 is not yet received. That's why the firm will consider the bad debts of rupees 10,000, not of 5,000. Here we will deduct bad debts only 5,000. But for calculation of bad debt reserve, we'll do 23,000 minus bad debts, that is 10,000. So remaining balance, that would be 13,000. On 13,000 we'll calculate 5% BDR. Okay, so 13,000 5%, that would come to 650. That's why I've written 650 over here. 18,000 5%, it would not come to 650, but we have calculated 5% on the value of the actual bad debts after subtracting the total bad debts. No doubt 50% will be received, but at a later date. It is not certain. That's why actual bad debts we have considered, doubtful debts that we have considered, that is 23,000 minus 10,000, because still that is doubtful. Till the time we have received that amount, it would be a doubtful debt only. That's why 23,000 minus 10,000, remaining balance, that is 13,000. On 13,000 we'll calculate the bad debt reserve, that is 5%. It would come to 650. Okay, so that was a different point over here. 18,000 minus 650, remaining balance in outer column, that is 17,350. Now both this effect of adjustment, that will be shown on the second effect on the debit side of P&L account. Now debit side of P&L account, I have written not written the format, because the trial balance, bad debts and bad debt reserve is not given to you. So only of the adjustment, that is bad debt reserve, bad debts of adjustment and bad debt reserve of adjustment. That is 5,000 and 650 total, that I have shown in the outer column, that is 5,650. Okay. Now after completion of bad debts, fourth adjustment, 10% interest is outstanding on bank overdraft. Now bank overdraft balance that is given to you, that is 3,000. On that 10% interest is outstanding. So for 3,000, 10% it would come to 300. So 3,000 plus 300 in outer column liability side, that I have written, that is 3,300. Now you have plus over here, it means you have given credit effect. So the second effect, that is outstanding. In future that expense you have to pay. Okay, that interest you have to pay. So second effect, that would be debit side of P&L account. So debit side of P&L account, you can see that is 2 outstanding interest on overdraft, that is 300. Last adjustment already were done, that is goods of 2,000 is missed out to record in sales return book, that is unrecorded sales return. Both the effect already we have given, that is one I have subtracted from sales on the credit side of trading account, and the second one, that is debtors from the asset side of balance sheet, that I have subtracted. Students always remember that before providing the effect of bad debts, bad debt reserve or discount reserve, if there is any unrecorded sales or unrecorded credit sales or unrecorded sales return, then we have to give the effect of it first to the debtors, and whatever the balance remains, on that only we have to provide bad debts and bad debt reserve. So always the first priority would come of unrecorded sales return or unrecorded credit sales. Okay, after subtracting that only you have to give the effect of bad debts and bad debt reserve. Now all the adjustments that we have completed, even in the hidden adjustments, whatever that was of investment interest, that is 8%. Students remember, whenever in the trial balance any kind of percentage rate of interest is given to you, then don't forget to count the outstanding rate of interest on loan or investment. That is one kind of hidden adjustment. So that effect is also to be given. If you don't give the effect of it, the balance sheet would get tally, but the gross profit and net profit would come different than the exact answer. Okay, so see that, don't forget the hidden adjustment if the date or percentage is given to you in brackets. Now we'll close each and every account one by one. First of all, let us close trading account. Trading account credit side total that is coming to you 1,02,000 plus 80,000. It would come to 1,82,000. 1,82,000. From that we'll subtract all the debit effect. The difference that would come to 71,500. That is gross profit. That gross profit will transfer to credit side of P&L account. That is by GP gross profit 71,500. Total of credit side is less. Debit side total is more. That means divisible loss it would come over here. Total of debit side that is coming to 74,700. Both the sides that have put 74,700. Difference that came, I have written not net loss over here, I have written divisible loss. Students, remember, whenever in the question you don't need to prepare P&L appropriation account, then whatever the difference comes of P&L account, that would be considered as divisible profit or loss, and that will be distributed amongst the partners in their profit and loss sharing ratio, and it will be transferred to the partners capital account or current account. Okay, so whenever here P&L appropriation account we have not prepared, so whatever the difference comes of P&L account, that would be your divisible profit or divisible loss, not net profit or net loss. Okay, so here divisible loss that came to 800. Difference came on credit side. Total of debit side is more, so this is loss, divisible loss 800. And profit sharing ratio already it is given to you in question, that is 1:1. So each partner will get 400 rupees as share of loss. Now the second effect, here it is credit effect. So the second effect that would be on the debit side of partners current account. So you can see debit side I have written to P&L account in bracket divisible loss for both the partners 400 and 400. Now we'll close the partners current account. In case of Mohan, you can see credit side total is more, that is 12,000. Difference that came on the debit side, that is 7,100. So in case of Mohan, it is credit balance. Whichever side total comes more, that type of balance. Okay. So you can see I have written on the liability side, current account of Mohan, that is 7,100. Now in case of Man, you can see the total of debit side is more, that is 11,400. Credit side there is no any effect, so that would be your closing balance of current account of Man, that is 11,400. Over in case of Man, the total of debit side is more, so it is debit balance. So you can see on the asset side of balance sheet that I have written current account of Man, that is 11,400. Okay, so now we have closed all the accounts. Now we have to tally the balance sheet, whether the total of liability and asset side is coming equal or not. You can see all the effects that I have given in the outer column. There should not be any effect remaining in the inner column. If any of the effect has been remaining in inner column, then we will not count that in the total, and that's why the total of the liability or asset side may not come equal. Okay, so see that any of the effect should not remain in the inner column. After telling all this and seeing that all the adjustment and hidden adjustments effect that we have given, now we have to do the total of liability and asset side. As you can see, the total of both the sides that is coming equal, that is 5,58,200. Both the side it is coming, that is in liability side also and on the asset side also. So our answer is correct if the balance sheet gets tallied. So that's all for today, students. In the next video lecture, I'll be doing the last sum of this exercise, that is question number 19. Till then, goodbye. Keep practicing. Stay blessed.